What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl AB in the building. Listen, y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, thank you for tuning in to this video. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you. My channel has grown by like 20 subscribers over the past week and a half, and to me, that's worthy of a celebration. It's worthy of a celebration. And so welcome again, y'all. My primary objective for this channel is to instill hope and encouragement into God's people, to see them walk forward in boldness and confidence in who God has called them to be. And one thing that I want to definitely empower people to do is to be authentic in doing it. And so that's a part of my creative journey here on YouTube. I just want to show up and be myself. So we're going to hop right into this word. This is not going to be a long video, but I wanted to come on and talk to you all. And I wanted to give you hope in the area of that it may not always make sense. You know, sometimes in life, our lives begin to shift, and God desires to transition us and elevate us to the place where He called us to be. And sometimes along that journey, you know, we're going through ups and downs. Life is lifing, you know, relationships are shifting, jobs are changing, our mindsets are changing. You know, we're dealing with grief and loss. We're dealing with a lot of other things that are going on around us. And in everything that's happening, God is still calling us to elevate. I wanted to come on and let you know that it may not make sense to your natural mind what God is doing in your life. And I want you to begin to trust on Him and lean into Him, knowing that He is the author and the finisher of our faith. He is the one true and living God. And listen, He wrote your story out already. He already know who He called you to be. Jeremiah 29:11 tells us, "For I know the thoughts I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope." So listen, God already wrote your story out. He already knew that you would go through life circumstances that would challenge your thinking. He knew that you would go through relationships that would cause you to doubt Him, that would cause you to feel faint in your spirit. He knew everything about you, and He still called you into your next. And so for many of you, what I believe is happening is that God has called your life to transition in a lot of different ways. Yep, He's called you to transition off that job where you've been settling. He's called you to transition out of that relationship, be it temporary or permanent. He's called you to let go of some things. He's called you to let go of some people. He's brought many of us into the place where it looks like isolation. And during this period of isolation, God has begun to pour into many of us and begin to show us who He is in us. It has allowed you to really see God for who He is. You're beginning to see that God is not a God that wants to punish you for your wrongs. God is a God who requires repentance. He does want us to ask for forgiveness, and He wants us to forgive others. But what this isolation period has done for you is working far greater for your good than you can imagine. I'm like, I don't even know if that makes sense, but it is working for your good. And so although it doesn't make sense to your natural mind why you had to go through many swift transitions, why you had to go on the path that you've gone, you know, you look around and maybe you see other people who are experiencing similar things to you, but they haven't had to go through the path that you had to go through. You're looking around and you're looking for advice from people, but nobody around you can give you the advice, because what you're experiencing is a new thing. What you're experiencing is about your call. It's about your purpose. And need I remind you that nobody else can walk out your purpose or your calling except for you. That's why many of us had to go through the challenges that we had to face. Many of us had to go through seasons of being hidden, of being isolated. Sometimes we felt depressed or anxious. Sometimes we worried, but we didn't have anybody to turn to for comfort, because God wanted us to turn to Him for comfort. And as you turn to God for comfort, as you begin to lean on your Father, as you begin to tell Him, Lord, I don't know why I'm going through this. I don't understand why this is a part of my journey, but Lord, your will be done. Lord, have your way in my life. And as you surrendered your life to God, God began to shift everything around you. There was an inner transformation that happened at the low place. It doesn't have to make sense to your natural mind. The things that you experienced during your isolated period, the things you experienced during your swift transitions when God was moving your life and things weren't added up, things weren't making sense, the money was acting funny, I might lose the house, the kids is acting crazy, wait, the kids is gone, Lord, what are you doing? You know, my job is not, this can't be real. They only paying me $10 an hour. This ain't even enough to buy groceries because eggs is $10 a carton now. Like, what are you doing, Lord? But because you held on, because you kept the faith, because you continued to trust God even when it didn't make sense, God will elevate your life. So get ready because your life is about to take off. You are going from the pit to the palace. Even when things didn't make sense, you still held on to God. You allow God to cultivate your gifts. You allow God to fix your character. You allow God to instill in you the wisdom and knowledge that you needed to continue to move forward. You allow God to shift your relationships. You allow God to even shift your mindset about your relationships. So get ready for your next level. Get ready to take off and continue to transform into the person that God has called you to be. Thank you all for tuning in to this video. If you haven't had a chance already, like, share, and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button so that you can be informed every time I drop a video on this channel. Thank y'all again for tuning in. I'll see y'all in the next video.